Hi students, Mr. C here. Today what we're going to do is finish up, excuse me, we're going to finish the gel coat stain that is on the structure for the epoxy wood creation table. As you're well aware, we're really close to the finish line here, and just before we start doing any operation, like always, we always want to make sure that we have all of our equipment or things that we need for that particular step. So in front of me, I have 2 sets of rubber gloves. I have my shop towels to help apply. I have 2 foam brushes, and I have my stain, and I also have a flathead screwdriver to take the lid off. Now, if you remember from our previous videos on the epoxy table staining, this is a gel stain, and the manufacturer states that you need 12 to 24 hours in an environment that's between 70 and 75 degrees. Well, like I said before, in the shop here, it's about 75 degrees. Well, it's almost been about 20 hours, and the surfaces are dry. I checked them, so we're in good shape to go ahead and put on the final sections of gel stain. So I'm just going to pop the lid on this, and we're going to go ahead and finish off the gel stain on this particular structure. I'm going to set this shop towel here. This is the shop towel I'll be using, and as you know, we're going to use a foam brush as the applicator. I'm just going to go ahead and take it right out of the can because we don't need that much material today. So like before, you want to apply the gel stain onto the surface, but not right on the edge to go over it. Because if I went from here and hit the edge here, I'm going to get it run, and we don't want runs on this. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take some of this off of here, and hopefully transfer it over to this plate, to the side. Okay. Now these 2 posts, if you remember from our previous video, they have all of the stain on them. So just get a nice coat of stain on everything. I'll come back with this shop cloth and wipe off the excess after I go ahead and get the rest of this on. I'm just letting this cure here. These 2 are done. Now remember, we don't want to have it on here, the gel stain, so thick that you can't see the grain. The idea is to put it on, let it soak in, let the pigment soak into the surface, then wipe off the excess. You don't want lines from the actual brush, the applicator. And you want to be able to see the grain. That's why we wipe off the excess, but we let it go ahead and give it a little bit of time to penetrate the wood surface itself. I'll come over and I'll grab the camera here in a minute and show you exactly what this looks like. And then 24 hours from now, we can start the finishing or top coat process. We will be using a spray system inside a spray booth with a Kremlin Rexam spray system, the Excite system, and we will be shooting a pre-catalyzed lacquer. I'm not going to say which company the lacquer is, but pretty reputable company. It's been around for a long time. so now everything's been coated. We're all set. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on nice and firmly. I'm going to take this and set this here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wipe off the excess of the material, or the stain. It's not a big secret here. Remember, when you're staining, you mainly just want to get the material onto the surface as quickly as possible. Okay. So now, a little cautionary note. This shop towel here clearly has stain or gel stain on it. We do not want to leave that in the shop balled up. What we want to do is we're going to dispose of it so it does not spontaneously combust. All materials that have stain on them, just throw them out. They're no longer any good, clearly, because they have stain on them. But what I'd like to do is take the camera and show you a little bit better of the different surfaces. So it's real continuous on the coloring, or the black. And as you can see, the tape off job is that's where all the adhesive is going to go to put this together. Now these just happen to be flipped over, these last two parts. And then these posts, they're done. But I want to show you clearly, you can still see the grain. And then the idea is to make sure you can still see the grain of the wood in this, but after you stain this, you don't want so much material on the surface that you don't see it any longer. Okay? So, I'm Mr. C, and this is how you use gel stain on a wood product. And remember, make sure you wear your safety glasses while you're doing this. Now I'm just going to let this sit here for the next 24 hours and let it fully cure and dry, and then we'll take this and we'll set up the spray booth so that way we can get everything sprayed down. And then remember, just keep the tape on here until you're done spraying your 3 coats of top coat. Then you pull the tape off, and then you have a clean surface to go ahead and add your adhesive to, depending on which one you're going to be using. We will be using an epoxy resin because we have side grain to end grain orientation, and if I have to mix up a batch, you may as well use all of it so that way it's not wasted. Okay? So until next time, I'm Mr. C, and remember, give us a thumbs up, and in the comments box, if you can go ahead and put something in there that you learned from this video, I'll go ahead and put in an entry in your name. Okay? Bye.